Kilo Whiskey 4 Echo X-Ray, pardon me, KW4EX. The name is Gordon, down in Lake Lanier, Georgia.
Roger, roger. I've got you, Gordon, on my local antenna. You look to be about 15 over right at the moment. Roger?
I'll roger that, Jim. You're about 10 over here in Georgia. Beautiful signal coming in this direction.
Roger, roger. I just looked up at my frequency analyzer just at the last of that. Saw activity down around 25 cycles. Roger?
Oh, around 25 cycles. That's interesting. I've got my cutoff at right at 100. I don't know why it's not doing better than that, but anyway, you're sounding good here. I don't have you blown up on the scope, but it looks good.
Roger, roger. Well, you sound beautiful. You know, it's tapering off after 100, but there is some activity there. So really sounds good. Now, you can see your audio on the scope?
Yeah, I can. Hang on a second, let me pull up a closer thing. Yeah, it does look like, my audio looks like it's really dropping off right around 100 cycles on the scope, but maybe it's audio. Yeah, I'm seeing a little bit down there, but really nothing below the baseband frequency.
Roger, roger. It looks like about a 45-degree angle. What I'm seeing on my spectrum analyzer is about a 45-degree declination angle from 100 on out. About a 45 degrees. Roger?
I'll roger that. So am I still staying pretty much within our allocated bandwidth, do you think?
Oh, yeah. I never heard anybody get in trouble for low frequency, but it looks good, and you're well contained there, Roger.
Okay, good. Well, I would hope so. I am running pure signal. This is on the Anon. We've spoken before, Jim, and I don't think I've changed the setup since last talked to you.
Yeah, and this is Gordon, right?
That's correct. It is. Good memory, either that or you've got me in the log.
I remember from last week, I think. You were just beautiful, Roger.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, sir. Same setup and rig. I don't know if you're going to be on long enough, but I do have another microphone that I might like to try, and it'll take me just a moment to switch over for that. So you might want to pick up another client, so to speak, in between. But anyhow, I right now I'm running on the RE320 microphone, but I would like to try not a Heil, but a Jabra headset.
Roger, I just can't imagine that you could possibly get a better sound than where you are right now. You might have a different mic experience, but as far as the technical sound, you have nailed it right here, Roger.
Well, I believe that's with your help, as I might say, and I appreciate that.
Roger. But if you get a chance, is that headset right there?
Yes, it is. It would take me probably 20-30 seconds maybe to change over.
Well, let's do it. Nothing like right now to do that. Roger, I'll stand by.
All right, this is KW4EX. I will be right back.
This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net, and Gordon is getting his headset plugged in there, and we're going to compare that to his, I guess it was an Electro Voice mic he was running.
Okay, Jim, I have changed over to my Jabra headset. Mic gain might be a little bit hot on this one, but I'm still below the 0 dB mic level on my meters. What does the sound do for us?
Oh, you don't have quite the bottom end that you did before, but you have a nicer, hotter top end in mid-range. So it's got a little more cut to it. The dynamic range is probably about 2.5 dB. So it's a little bit louder than your original microphone, but I would say that would be a good setup for contrasting and DX, Roger?
Roger that. Yeah. It's, always difficult when you change microphones. There's always something different that the microphone has in the way of characteristics. And I'm looking here. It looks like my mic level might be running a little bit hot. I'm backing it down 1 dB. Pardon me. I'm running out of breath as I speak.
Roger. I could see that on my spectrum analyzer. I've got a VU meter tied to the audio out of this 7300, and I can tell by the way it hangs as to what the dynamic range is. The hotter you are into your ALC, the less dynamic range you have, and so the meter tends to hang up there as opposed to flipping around like a wet dog, Roger.
Yeah, so dropping it a dB there, did that seem to help a little bit?
Yes, sir. Well, I don't think so. I mean, I liked the way it was when you first came in there. That was nice. It was around 2.5 dB or something as far as dynamic range. So I guess your average percent of peak modulation would have been 85%, Roger.
Oh, okay. Well, if 85%, that's about as much as I would want, I think, in this regard, especially on sideband, the way that we normally talk. And I usually do rag chew type of communications as opposed to really get involved in the contests and so forth, trying to punch through for those elusive stations. But at any rate, I just thought I would check it out. I don't use this headset very often, but I will say it is convenient, allows me to get up and move around, do things in the shack that I wouldn't normally do while I'm sitting here in front of the RE320.
Roger. Now, what kind of range do you get out of that headset?
I can go around anywhere in my shack or the next couple of rooms over. I haven't really tried going outdoors with it for any distance because, I run Vox, and if something should trip it, and I would be a little bit nervous doing that. But, a couple hundred feet, I think, would be the max that I would ever try to push it.
Roger. Gosh, well, you don't need to change anything. You can interchange those two mics right beside each other, one or the other. You don't need to change a thing, Roger.
Oh, roger that. Well, now I do have different profiles set up in my radio software for each mic. This one, obviously, I've labeled the Jodbra, and the other the 320. So if I change mics, I do have to click a couple of mouse buttons. But other than that, and unplugging a cable, it's all good to go.
Roger. Well, your EQ points are perfect on each mic. They're just perfect on each mic. I go back to your other mic. I really like that one.
Okay, on the 320. Yeah, take me just a moment to do it, but I will make that change. KW4EX.
Roger, EX.
Okay, Jim, we're back on the RE320, and this is the Electro Voice microphone.
Oh, yeah, just beautiful. Tell me about what is the radio you're running?
This is the ANON-7000 with the Thetis software.
Roger, is that 7000D?
Yes, I'm sorry. The 7000 DLE Mark III actually is the actual latest 7000 that they make. In fact, it may be the very last serial number they produced. I have my suspicions about that, but it may very well be. All the orders that my buddies placed after mine came in with their G2 model. So I was fortunate to get a 7000, I guess, looking at it from that perspective.
Right. So would you be saying that the later production models are not as good as the 7000 DLE?
No, I would not say that. I don't own one. In fact, I would like to own one, but I do know that the 7000 DLE is good, and I like it a lot. And, I don't really have a compelling reason to change at all.
Oh, absolutely. I would not either. And gosh, if you know how to do that YouTube search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, it'll take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 out of 3200, and I'll have it uploaded tomorrow. And by the way, did you manage to hear your air check from last week?
I did. It sounded good. I was kind of hoping it might have a little more warmth on the low end, but the audio quality I thought was very good, and it probably fits my voice quite well.
Roger. Now, are you listening to that on, what kind of monitor system are you listening to that on?
Well, over the air, I'm listening on Altec Lansing speakers with a subwoofer.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what I've got here. Not an Altec Lansing, but it's subwoofers down to about 40 cycles. So, those low frequencies are just so beautiful, Roger.
Roger that. For my station monitor, I'm not running my shack radio speakers. I'm running KLH three-way speakers and using a separate LaPi 20-watt RMS amplifier.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. You don't need more than that. What do you say? You don't have to smoke and drink to have a good time, Roger?
Yeah, Roger. But I will say the fidelity is good and rich, and I enjoy that, especially while I'm working rag chew conversations with friends.
Roger, I don't think a lot of folks think outside the box. I have a couple of things that we talk about on the net for about 60 seconds or so called Thinking Outside the Box. Well, we do promote, somebody getting a nice house system with a subwoofer and plugging into their speaker out and really enjoying every ounce of audio that these radios have, Roger.
Well, I agree totally, and I think the quality of audio is, of course, for the benefit of the listener as opposed to the speaker. But it's very interesting how folks on the other end of the microphone, on the front side of the microphone, sometimes don't really consider what their audio quality is coming into my shack, and those that do, I greatly appreciate.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And, I've been experimenting a little bit. I try to keep things as straightforward as possible to get the best recording. I don't run a large front end RF-wise. Matter of fact, it's so low I can't even get the S meter to run. I have to, give a signal like off my VU meter that I have tied to the output. And when somebody stops talking, then I can give them a reading of, I have adjusted their level to 0 level, and when they stop talking, it's the noise, and so I can say they're 10 over my noise level or whatever usually. But I have been experimenting a little bit with noise reduction. It's one is ANL. I do a little bit of ANL and experimenting that way. Roger.
When you say the ANL, is that like an automatic noise limiting?
Yes, it's actually let's see how to put it closes down from the top. If there's no content in the top, it closes down, and it's about that way 10 dB quieter. Roger. Okay,
well that's interesting. I'm not sure. Is that something built into your radio?
No, this is what I'm doing external on the audio, Roger.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've run some of the different types of audio rack gear type of equipment in the past. And to be honest with you, Jim, I've found that with the ANON software, just plugging the microphone straight into the radio and using the EQ tools and compression tools that ANON has to offer, I cannot get any better quality as far as transmit audio. Now, with that said, they also have receive EQ tools, although I don't really run those. I just run the audio straight into my speakers and take whatever it is I get.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, I'm running a 7300 here, and I don't use the noise limiter or what's the other thing there? Gosh, impulse noise reduction. I don't use any reduction or filtering. It's just as flat as you can be, Roger.
Oh, Roger that. Well, yeah, and that's good. I mean, sometimes you have to if there's some type of power line noise or some other type of interference, but it's always nice when you don't have to use that.
Yes, sir. And I want to give somebody a good example of what they're really doing as opposed to what my receiver's doing to modify their signal. So I just want to be as transparent as I can be, Roger.
Roger, and I appreciate you putting those out on YouTube that way. When you're recording them on the internet, now where are you grabbing that audio from?
It comes out of the speaker out, just coming out of the speaker out, and it goes into a six-way switch, a rotary switch, and I have my SDRs coming up there too. So I've got 5 internet SDRs there, plus my local receiver, and so I can just zing around on a rotary switch and just find out the hottest signal in like 2 seconds, Roger.
Ah, Roger that. Well, that's a good way to do it. I must admit, I keep our Dahlonega, Georgia SDR station live on my computer while I'm on the radio because I often record snippets of conversation just to make sure that what I'm doing audio-wise sounds okay. So I will record it, download it, and play it back. And also, I can forward that file to others, too, if someone's interested in what their audio sounds like.
Yeah, roger that, roger that. Well, I started with one SDR. I started with just a computer, and then I had another computer, so I had 2 SDR internet receivers, and then I started to go to tablets, Amazon Fire tablets. So I've got 6 Amazon Fire tablets that I use now.
Oh, how clever. A more cost-effective way of doing that, I suppose.
Oh, yeah. The levels all work out. I just turn them all up, max out, no distortion, and I just match my receiver audio to those 5, and they're, just beautiful, Roger.
Oh, roger that. Well, you've got good audio there, Jim. I know often you ask your call-ins to explain their equipment. What microphone are you using?
This is a homebrew condenser mic, electret condenser mic, going into the preamp. What is the preamp? I have a mental block now, but it's a little box preamp there, and then into a third octave equalizer, and then into the radio, and it splits right there. It goes one side goes to the radio, and it comes on around to the mixer that's working into the video, Roger.
Oh, roger that. Well, it sounds good. You've got that adjusted quite nicely as well. Of course, I would expect nothing less, but your signal is good also. So anyway, we've got a direct path this way, but there may be some others out there that would like to check in with you and see what their audio sounds like. So why don't we take a pause and give me a break to catch my breath as well. And also for a quick station ID, this is KW4EX.
Roger 4EX, this is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If anybody's got a radio they want to check out, give me a shout.